Hello everyone. Thought I would deviate from the norm a little bit and entertain some questions and answers as part of this video. I've noticed a bunch of certain kinds of questions are asked on my videos, and I'm obviously not the best at responding to comments on my videos, but I wanted to take the time to put something like this together as a means of thanking each of you for watching my videos and spending the time to comment and offer me feedback and share in my enthusiasm for my favorite band and my favorite drummer, even though I have Phil Collins in there in a few places. Okay, so I'll start with drums. The acoustic set that I have is a 1980s Tama Art Star Cordia. They're all non-script badge drums, although I do have some toms that I'm not using that are script badges. The sizes of the Cordias are 10-inch, two 12-inch, a 15-inch, and a 16-inch. The bass drum's 22, and the snare is 14, 6.5 deep. I have Tama Imperial Star concert toms, 6, 8, 10, and 12. Those are contemporary. I think they were made a year after the kit was. For auxiliary percussion, I use a set of tubular bells behind me. A bell tree, it's right there. To the left of me is a LP percussion timbali. This is a 13-inch one. It's the one that offers more of a crack than the bass bass half of the pair. For heads, I'm using remote-controlled sounds on the concert toms, Evans G2s and G1s on the toms of my acoustic kit. G2s on the top, G1s on the bottom. I use a Power Stroke P3 Black Dot as the bass drum batter head, and another Power Stroke as the resonant head. And then for the snare, I have a Remo controlled sound reverse dot. For my cymbals, I use entirely a custom Zildjians. These have the logos polished off. It's just, I like the look of them. They sound the best when they're clean, when they've been polished. I don't like these particular cymbals to accumulate patina. But yeah, when I first had a set of these cymbals, I cleaned them, and I was a little too aggressive and noticed the logos, the ink logos, polishing off. So I decided, okay, I might as well go all the way and just polish it all the way off, and that's how I've been doing it since. There are a few videos where I've been a little lazy and replaced a cracked cymbal with a new one that hasn't had its ink polished off. You can see that like around the time I was doing, I think Power Windows, Hold Your Fire, and Presto. The sizes of the crashes are two 20s, an 18, and a 16. I'm using two 8-inch splashes, two Chinas, 18-inch, 20-inch, a Ping Ride 20-inch, and then 13-inch Master Sound hi-hats. On some of my other videos, when I have an X-hat up, that's also a 13-inch Master Sound hi-hat. For electronic drums, I'm using a combination of two drum modules because I couldn't get all of the, I used up all of the trigger inputs on the bigger of the modules. It's a TD20, which was top of the line around mid-2000s. And supplemented with that, you can't really see it in the overhead view of my videos, is a TD12. That one powers the auxiliary toms, so the two rec toms that I have, the two black the PD8 pads that are above the ride cymbal, and then also the left foot triggers that I have. So samples. On a lot of Rush songs, I trigger samples. They sound a lot like what's being used on the record, but I don't know of any place where you can get samples. These are all made by myself. I've used whatever comes in the TD20 module, and manipulated the effects, the pitch, all sorts of things to approximate it as best as I can, as best as I interpret it on the record. And for other samples, like the marathon glockenspiel hit with the fading B note, that was one that I recorded myself with my glockenspiel. Yeah, that I put a delay effect on it and tried to approximate it as best as I could. The only place where I've used actual samples from the songs themselves is in Force 10, where I use the jackhammer snare and bass that opens the song and closes the song. Drumless tracks. I don't know of any drumless tracks out there. Everything I've put out is just with the track as you hear it on the record, just with the volume turned down and my drums turned up. As simple as that. Going into a bit more into the recording, I'm using Shure microphones all around the toms and the bass drum. I have Rhodes as the overhead mics, and it's all being fed into a Behringer mixer. It's a Eurodesk. I forget the model of it, but that's all it is. I don't do, as you can hear, I don't do any post-processing, and no compression, none of that. The only instances where I've done something like that is use the onboard effects for the mixer that I have, which is just over my right shoulder. I've used the onboard gate effect for In the Air Tonight. It's not very apparent. I didn't do a really good job of bringing out that classic gated tom reverb on the toms, but that's what it is. Lastly, I'll touch on hardware too for my acoustic kit. I'm using a smattering of DW, mostly DW, but I have some Gibraltar stands in here as well. Yeah, I don't have a particular brand affinity. DW is great because of how robust they are, but they're expensive. And I'll try to finagle things and create stuff on my own if I can. I'm very much into doing things on my own just because I can. That pretty much covers the tip of the iceberg. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave a comment on at the bottom of this video. And I do want to thank each of you for taking the time to watch my videos, give me feedback, and share in my enthusiasm for percussion and whatnot, for all that I do on YouTube. It's a lot of fun, and I thank you for your time.